Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stand. This is the latest Manchester United transfer news as we're feeling. Hot. It's hot. It's hot in the UK, it might be hot elsewhere. But look, let's fly straight into the show. Lots to talk about. What's next? We know the situation with regards to Frankie de Jong. He is now on a flight to Miami. You might be watching. If you're watching Frankie, I don't know what to say. If I speak, I'm in trouble. But I do still remain 90% sure he's going to be a United player, because having been briefed again this afternoon, Manchester United still maintain their course is Frankie de Jong for the midfield. Nobody else. You can put fake stories about Sangare out there that aren't true. You can talk about your theories about Ruben Neves or Yuri Tillemans or Lema. They're not true. Manchester United are still tunnel visioned on Frankie de Jong. And Erik ten Hag is still in Melbourne saying, I am insistent that you get this player. So much so that he will risk starting McFred in the first games of the season to get Frankie de Jong in. And I suppose the stance of de Jong there, the stance of Erik ten Hag there is, one sunny day doesn't make a summer. And some other analogy I can't think of, that, you know what, a one night stand ain't a marriage. That's a good one. Basically meaning that, you know, short-term pain, long-term gain. If it's not going for Frankie de Jong, or it's getting Frankie de Jong but missing out on him for the first few games of the season, it'll be worth it in the long run. And that is the stance of Manchester United at the moment. Zishan, thank you very much. So, look, let's bring you some breaking news. Now, Steve Bates of The People has been very good. Again, The Mirror and The People, who are owned by the same outlet or owner, have actually been quite good and well briefed on Ten Hag. I don't know why. The Mirror, is it Mullock? Is the Mirror? They just seem to be quite well briefed on Erik ten Hag this summer. I don't know why. Maybe somebody has the answer to that. But this has come out in the last hour from I think it's Steve Bates, who is a very long established journalist, works on the Sunday People now in the UK. He says the first player that Erik ten Hag spoke to when taking over as Manchester United manager was Frankie de Jong, and remains insistent that a deal should be made. So that is Erik ten Hag's stance. He's insistent that this is the deal to do. And it leaves you in that difficult position as a Manchester United fan, because I don't believe any of you, and me, should be... Well, I think you can critique Ten Hag, but you can't get angry with Ten Hag. I think that's a bad thing. I don't agree. And I want to talk about this a little bit later as well, because I did a tweet about, is Maguire actually worse than Eric Bailly? We can talk about that later. But I don't like the fact that Maguire's been given the captaincy, because I think Maguire needs to focus on being a defender. I think it's actually, he's making his job harder by trying to captain the team when he can't even establish himself as a centre-back for United. But I don't agree with Ten Hag giving the captaincy to Maguire, but I'm still 100% behind him as the manager of this club. There's not one part of me that thinks we've made a mistake yet. But I don't like reading stuff about this is Ten Hag's fault about Frankie de Jong, but in a way that's a real positive. Welcome to the Members Club, Zishan. In a way, actually, it's quite a positive that there's some United fans saying this isn't on the board, this is on Erik ten Hag, he's being stubborn, and, you know, but is that not what you want in a manager? I mean, maybe he'll get it wrong, but I'd rather have a manager where the board are backing him. And I think it is embarrassing that we're not going to have him for the start of the season. I think it's a big mistake, but I might be wrong, you might be wrong. And, you know, this didn't happen with Mourinho, and it didn't happen with Van Gaal, who had bigger CVs than Ten Hag. So maybe United are learning their lesson here, that as much as they're going to face scrutiny and criticism, they are backing this manager. As I said, I spoke to somebody this morning, and United are worried about this deal. They're worried about how de Jong's being perceived by United fans, because this is going to be their big signing of the summer. And a lot of United fans don't have an issue with de Jong, but they're saying we shouldn't be doing this deal. There are some United fans who have an issue with de Jong now. So United are a little bit nervous about this deal, but they're staying the course because this is what Ten Hag wants. Ten Hag is saying, no, stay with this deal. You'll get it done in the end. I understand backing Erik ten Hag and getting him what he wants, but we've been humiliated enough by de Jong, and I don't want him anymore, says Jameson. I can understand why Ten Hag is so adamant, as many managers prior to him haven't got what they wanted, but this can come back to bite him, says Akil. It's risky, it's brave, but it is backing your manager, you know. And I suppose it's easier for me because, you know, I'm used to getting criticism. I'm used to people. Look, I've looked on Twitter. I've seen the pictures of me with the t-shirt on. I've got it here. My half. Look, I've got it here. Straight, fresh out the wash. I'm not scared. Read it. Frankie goes to Manchester. Frankie's going to Hollywood at the moment. Relax. But I've got the T-shirt. I'm not pretending I didn't wear it the other day. It's there. And one day you might be able to buy one yourself. But I'm still 90% this deal's going to happen because I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed he's on the bloody plane, but I know that United are absolutely convinced that they're still going to get this deal done. So I'm just annoyed by how long it's going to take. Check out the video this morning. Evening, Mark. Do you think United could be clever with this and threaten to pull out knowing that Barca came to us for the deal, says Jordan? No. I think they should have done that already. I said that this morning. I think they should have pulled out this morning. They should have pulled out and said, jog on. But they obviously know more than we know, which I'll talk about in a minute. Making club like United kneel for De Jong will not make dressing room better. Problem started from these types of deals, says Mohammed. Mark, I agree with you about Frankie de Jong being great to long term, but what are we going to do about the CDM position? We need someone behind him and Bruno, says CR7. Welcome to the Members Club, Karam. I think it's just a cover-up for media reasons on the captaincy. Ten Hag won't rock the boat now, so in my opinion, it will be De Gea or Ronaldo. Says Wayne, I hope you're right. And can we force Barca's hand by threatening to pull out? They can't register players if we don't get Frankie de Jong. It's a bit ruthless, but it could get over with it, says Sam Weston. I tell you what, all this pull out talk, it's taking me back to my teens. Mark, I'm just bored. Pull out. I'm not there yet. Mark, I'm just bored of this saga and it has taken some of the appeal hype out of this one. I know Frankie's playing his own games, but the rhetoric around him not wanting to move is not helping, says Jim Jam. Look, let me just go through these this story that we're reading out, and then I'll give you what I pretty much know is going on with Frankie de Jong. Discussions have taken place about Manchester United paying the wages of Frankie de Jong that he is owed. However, tax implications as well as UEFA and FIFA regulations make this pretty much impossible. What does that mean? So basically, discussions have taken place, according to this particular journalist, that United give Barcelona 15 million more. They pay that 15 million to de Jong, or they take it off the wages. Those have been discussed, but apparently that's against FIFA regulations. Pretty sure you could find a way around that, but, you know, whatever. Also, Erik ten Hag is aware of Frankie de Jong and his agent's strategy regarding refusing to publicly demand a move, which is why John Merton and Richard Arnold were spotted in Barcelona last week to work out a deal. And finally, Frankie de Jong and his agent Ali Dursun believe that expressing a public wish to leave Barcelona and join Manchester United will weaken their position as they fight the club for his deferred wages. So we are in the midst of what is a very... Look, and I'm sure if you check my Twitter timeline, the one where I said if I speak, it's a picture of Frankie de Jong on the plane sat next to Memphis with a smile on his face. This is a political game of cat and mouse and chess. Cat against mouse playing chess. It's a mess. And effectively what is happening with this deal is, and there's all sorts of talks out there that Barcelona can't register Lewandowski and Rafinha until they sell Frankie de Jong because actually the financial fair play is not about an influx of cash, it's also about wages. I'm not bothered about any of that. I'm not bothered about their financial levers anymore. I'm not bothered about whether they can register players anymore, because the truth of the matter is this. I think people get locked in, and even I fell into this trap. They get locked into financial levers and all this bollocks, right? The truth of the matter is, this is the fact. This is the story, and I've been told it by about 4 or 5 people that I trust. Very, very, very good people. Some of them close to both situations. The situation is this. Barcelona contacted Manchester United in late April, early May to say Frankie de Jong is available. Ten Hag was aware of this and said to Manchester United, I want Frankie de Jong. I've spoken to Frankie de Jong. Manchester United and Barcelona started those negotiations in May. And there was a belief that the deal could be done right at the start of the summer. Right at the start of the transfer window. Then what happened is Barcelona realised they could start raising money, and they focused on that. And they basically said to United, wait, we will do the deal with you, but we've got other things to work on at the moment. We've got players that we want to sign that might be going to other clubs. We haven't got time to sort this deal out, but we will do. No one's back in pre-season training till July, just wait. So United waited. We then got to the back half of June, and United agreed a fee with Barcelona. Then what happened is Frankie de Jong returned to Barcelona, and an issue arose that everyone knew was going to arise, which was that the fact that Frankie de Jong is owed wages and he's going to be on big wages this season. Barcelona want to sell him, and Frankie de Jong knows this, but Barcelona don't really want to pay him what he's owed, and Frankie de Jong wants it. So Frankie de Jong is in a position where he can't be sold against his will, and he won't be sold without the money he's owed. Manchester United have negotiated a fee with Barcelona. They're basically aware that Frenkie de Jong wants to stay at Barcelona but can't, so will come to Manchester United. And Barcelona want to sell Frenkie de Jong but don't really want to give him the wages. And that's where we are. And that is why Frenkie de Jong is on the plane. And that is why United are very relaxed. And that is why we're not relaxed. And that is why Barcelona are carrying on doing what they're doing. Barcelona expect to sell Frenkie de Jong. Manchester United expect to buy Frenkie de Jong. And Frenkie de Jong expects to go to Manchester United, would like to go to stay at Barcelona, but wants his money before he goes. And fans, we're like, we are about to start the Premier League season in 3 weeks. Why have we not got a midfield? And United privately are, we've got McFred for the opening game of the season. And Ten Hag is like that. I'll be all right. It's Brighton and Brentford. I'll get Frenkie at some point in August. And that's United's stance. And that, look, absolutely, that is a risk. Of course it's a risk. As a fan, I'm outraged. As a fan, I'm frustrated. But that is the situation. And sometimes the situation is frustrating. Sometimes it is. And it is frustrating. We want the players in. We want to feel confident. We want to predict what's going to happen next season. The reality is we are going into this season in a lot of uncertainty. We are going into this season with a lot of the players from last year. But this is what Ten Hag wants to do. And whether we like it or not, reluctantly, I've got to go, oh, God, yes, all right. Okay, fine. And I am 90% sure we're going to sign him, and I've never shirked from that. So I hope you bloody remember it, because I haven't moved. I've had people messaging me all day going, just accept it. He's not coming. He's not coming. I know the club expect to sign him. So what do you want me to do? Pretend that we're not going to sign him? Look, I'm not 100%. I'm 90%. Maybe they will mess it up. But as of now, hand on heart, United expect to get that deal done. And it's all a political game. De Jong is on that plane because he wants his money. Barcelona have got him on that plane because they don't want him to pay him the money. And United are waiting, going, well, we're ready to pay the fee. It's agreed. So how long's a piece of string on this? I've got no idea. I suppose the big thing is what happens next, which we're going to talk about. I'm certain De Jong now wants to come. I don't think he's playing with United, but rather he's asking for what he's owed. He doesn't want to give Barca an easy way out, says Cantona. Sean says, I understand Ten Hag wanting De Jong, but this saga could jeopardise our whole summer. Imagine if it goes to the wire and we don't get him. We need a deadline on this, says Sean Turner. Any truth whatsoever in Sangari talk? Either way, we're going to get absolutely taken for a ride on any transfer we attempt, says Marco. Reminds me about that, actually. High love from us, South Africa, says Jared. Big shout out to the South African. Massive. Can't wait for next season. Excited to see what Erik Ten Hag can do and will do. Good. I'm excited too. It's all right. Let him join by August. For now, let's shift our focus and make other priority signings, which are CDM, forward and right back. We don't want, says Emma's. Good point. Good point. I want to talk about that as well. What next? De Jong is on tour now. He could be on there for 3 weeks. We've got to go move and do other business. Will we do that? I wonder when United will get the first signing. I don't count a free transfer and a 15 million player from the Dutch league. This is United, not Norwich. So we have signed Lisandro Martinez. Ooh, member for 14 months. Natty, thank you very much there. And a new member in Elliot. Thank you. So we did get a question in there. This is the Sancho saga from 2020, says Sean C. We did get a question in there about Sangari and if there is anything in that. Complete nonsense. Absolute nonsense. There was a story that came out this afternoon that even I would love to be true, that Manchester United are making progression on Sangari from PSV and were the front runners and all this and that. To be honest with you, the sources didn't even belong in my cupboard. They were not good enough. And look, there's always an opportunity for a new journalist to come forward and get credibility. Who was Fabrizio Romano 5 years ago? But we're not in for Sangari. We're not in for Sangari. And we're not in for Sangari. And as much as I'd be excited by it, and I think many of you were, none of us know Sangari as much as Erik Ten Hag does. He has played in the Eredivisie. He's managed in the Eredivisie, and PSV were their main rival. He's gone and got Malacia from Feyenoord because he knows him. He's gone nowhere near Sangari. So Ten Hag obviously doesn't think Sangari's up to it. Now, Sangari could go to Leicester. He could go to Liverpool. He could stay at PSV and become world class. But we are not looking at him. That's the cold, harsh truth. At this moment in time, we are not looking at him. It's fine if he doesn't come right away, but at least put another midfielder, someone with a similar profile just for security, says Ari. Mark, remember when the club put it out there that they would have all their business done by the end of June, says Uber Melon. That was the plan. It's just not gone to plan. Mark, are you sure this isn't the Glazers driven? Erik ten Hag may want Frankie, but we should be getting other players we need, says Andy and Bruno. And Romana, thank you very much for becoming a member. Well, this was not on the agenda for the show tonight, but you've just actually prompted something in my head that I was thinking about this afternoon that I'd completely forgotten about. Remember when Ten Hag came into the job and he started talking about there's a lot of potential in this team, it finished second a year ago. And I and many others were like, Eric, have you watched United play for the last 2 years? We finished second because there was no fans in the ground. Liverpool and Chelsea was shit. We parked the bus and hit teams on the break. And there was no pressure from crowds, so it worked. As soon as the crowds came back and Liverpool and Chelsea sorted themselves out, we were crap with the same set of players and the same manager. That was a complete and utter smokescreen that we finished second in the league. And we were miles behind City as well. So saying that we finished second a year ago and we can get back there, no chance. We're not, unless there's another COVID outbreak, which no one wants, unless there's a situation where people forget how to deal with it when we counter-attack and play with no fans, no chance. But tell me that Erik ten Hag's not been employed by the Glazers to get the most out of what we've got. We already know it. Look at what people are talking about online. Oh, Rashford looks really good now. Bruno's a lot better. Martial's like a different player. Sancho's going to tear it up. Luke Shaw's looking decent. Even McTominay and Fred look revitalised. Where's all this coming from? It's coming from you. It's coming from me a little bit. We are buying what the Glazers want. The Glazers want Erik ten Hag to work with what he's got. Now, that's fine, because if he's the coach I think he is, we'll do reasonably well. But tell me, when Man City employed Pep Guardiola, and when Liverpool employed Jurgen Klopp, and when Chelsea employed Thomas Tuchel, did they say to them, you've got to get the best out of what you've got? Did they bollocks? Because you know when a new manager comes in, you back them. And all I'm waiting for is the end of August, and I'm going to count up the money we've spent, and I'm going to count up the money we've sold, and I'm going to tell you what the stance is of the Glazers. Because at the moment, it does stink a little bit of. In fact, it stinks massive. Look at this. Look at the squad. Look at the pre-season tour. Ronaldo ain't there. Malasia's the only new signing. So you can't say to me or anybody that Ten Hag's not taken this job from the Glazers with them telling him he's got to get the best out of what he's got. Which is absolutely fine if those players can be turned into title winners, but it's not fine if he's being told to polish turds. And I've never known a manager go into a club and polish turds and win titles. I've never known it. In fact, I've never known a manager go into a club and get by with what they've got. I can't think of one. Sir Alex spent loads, Pep spent loads, Klopp spent loads, Kenny Dalglish at Blackburn spent loads, Kevin Keegan didn't win the league but he spent loads. That's the path of a manager. So we've got to spend money on this manager. At the moment he's on tour with Ollie's squad. It's as simple as that. And it's exciting, but it's mainly exciting because of young players. Could we see a Van der Beek and Eriksen instead of Fred and Scott at the start of the season, says Darren? I don't know. Reece Johnson, thank you and welcome to the Members Club. Also, welcome to the United Stand Members Club is the name. And Romano as well. Mark, I know the board are crap, but if he comes at the end of August on a 5-year deal, I would still be very happy, and he already knows the system, says Connor. He doesn't really know the system, does he? He doesn't really know the system. The system is the system, isn't it? Look, you know, I can work for HSBC and no banking, but if I go to TSB, if they still exist, or you know, Deutsche Bank or whatever, it's a different set of people I'm working with. You can know a system, but it's the players. Jorel, welcome. Thank you for member 3 months. And Kevin De Bruyne, is there any remaining player from the squad Pep Guardiola inherited at Man City in 2015? We gave old players to new managers, says Dazzo. Mark, United need to make a marquee signing. Do you think Frankie de Jong would be it, or would Anthony be a more serious statement to the rivals? Well, no, Frankie de Jong, Romano will be the statement signing. I mean, you could argue, though, on spends, I don't know whether you're aware of this, Mike Verwey at Ajax has come out and said that the fee for Lisandro Martinez is actually 65 million. It's 55 million plus 10 in add-ons. I tell you what, Ajax have absolutely come out on top here. Look, Lisandro Martinez could end up being a player that is worth 75 million. There's a lot of people that say he will go on to be one of the world's best centre-backs. But 55 million euros is 46 million quid. 65 million is over 50, is nearly 55 million quid. There is absolutely no way an Eredivisie centre-back, no matter how good they are, is worth 55 million quid. And Ajax have done us, and they've done us well because we've not prepared well for this summer transfer window. So, in fairness, we are. I mean, it just depends what other business we're going to do, really, doesn't it? But I think what next is important. What is next for Manchester United? Because Frankie de Jong's in America now. He's not going to land there tomorrow morning and then fly straight back. He's going to be there for, I would say, let me just have a quick look actually. So this is actually a very valid thing to do. So Barcelona's tour looks like this. They play on the they play Real Madrid. Let me just have a look at this. So they play Real Madrid in, I don't know, let me just have a quick check. I know they play Real Madrid on the 24th, Barcelona, Juventus on the 27th, and then they play New York Red Bull on the 31st of July. I think that's their last game. I think they're there for a couple of weeks. So, yeah, he's not going to be flying back from Barcelona. I mean, look, conceivably, he's not coming back until early August. There's no way he's playing against Brighton. Absolutely no chance he's playing against Brighton. So, yeah, what do we do in the next 3 weeks? Is that our transfer window done? Is that Xavi? Thank you very much for the super chat. Gregan says, friend of mine who is friends with the Jong family told me that Frankie wants to join United. Don't even want the full amount owed. Barca don't want to pay, but yet they buy all these players. I don't know whether that's true or not. I mean, it's a super chat. It could be, it could not be. I can't understand why we're not in for Lema, says Mark. Oh, some people just say Lema's not actually good enough, even though Bayern Munich want him. But, you know, I think Lema is, you know, everybody's a bloody football expert, aren't they? They are. Like, you say go and get Lema and Tielemans and people are like, oh, they've been playing too much FIFA. They've been watching too much of United stand. And I'm like, you arrogant shit. You arrogant little shit. What are you talking about? They've been playing too much FIFA. Maybe they've watched a bit of football. You know, you're not the only one with a subscription to Premier League football and German football. Maybe they've watched football and they've realised what every bloody body knows, that Tielemans and Lema are way better than Fred and McTominay. Maybe that's why they're saying go in and getting them. Because to be honest with you, the bar is pretty bloody low. There's not many midfielders in the Premier League and the Bundesliga I'd say, no, we're better off not buying them. I mean, the bar is bloody low in our midfield, and even if you rate Fred and McTominay, which, you know, I think as bench players they're fine, we still need 4 or 5 midfielders anyway. Hi Mark, Ronaldo leaves, our only option is Dybala. Any news, says Kim. There's no news on Dybala and he's not our only option either. So, what's going to happen next over the next 3 weeks? We've bought Lisandro Martinez, official announcement anytime between now and Monday lunchtime. We've got Eriksen and we've got Malacia. Will we now do anything else, or is it going to go very quiet waiting on Frankie de Jong? I don't know. I honestly don't know. There are some people saying that we're now going to move for a right back. There is absolutely nobody saying that we're going to move for Anthony. I've got to say, the Anthony situation is baffling. This is a perfect signing for us. He knows Ten Hag. Ten Hag knows him. We need a left-footed winger off the right-hand side. We're really short up front. We've got no fucking options. We've got Martial, Rashford, Sancho at the moment. Alanga, I don't think's ready. It's great to give him game time, but I don't think he's ready. That, you know, if Sancho pulls his hamstring and is out for 6 weeks, would you trust Alanga to play every single week? I don't think he's ready for that. I think he's a young player that is there to be part of the squad, but not play every week. So we've got Sancho, Martial and Rashford at the moment. Who knows what's happening with Ronaldo? We desperately need a senior winger. We've got nobody. So Anthony should be right at the top of the queue. But you know what worries me about Anthony is Ajax have absolutely bent us over with Lisandro Martinez. We should have paid no more than 40 million quid for Lisandro Martinez. I think 35. We've ended up paying 55 with the add-ons. God knows what they want for Anthony. I mean, I think I'm still. I don't even know what to think about Anthony. I don't even know what to think about transfers with United anymore. I'm just absolutely stunned about how bad this summer window's gone. But I don't see how we can sign Anthony now. I hope we're going to sign Anthony. I know Ten Hag wants him. I know he wants to come to us. I know he's on the list, high priority. But if they've got 65 million euros out of us for Anthony, for Lisandro Martinez, God knows what they're going to want for Anthony. It's probably 100. Well, we just haven't got that money, and we shouldn't spend 100 million pounds on him either. So I don't know. I just don't know what we're going to do next. Right back, look, Dumfries at Inter is the player we want. We've sold nobody as well. I mean, look, we've not even raised any money. We're failing at both ends. We've not probably got the budget we would like, and we haven't raised any bloody money either. Like, I think, sadly, I'm going to be very surprised if we do any business before Frankie de Jong in 2 or 3 weeks. I can't see what we're going to do. We need to desperately sell players. We need to desperately buy players. But I think, it's not criminal. That's not the right word. But it's shambolic that I think we're going to be doing our business when the season starts. I think in August we're going to be selling players and buying players, which is... This is not the season to be buying and selling players in August, because there's no bloody international break in September. Like, we start the season on August the 6th. The next international break is bloody end of September. We're playing every week in the Premier League until the end of September. You can't even just get through 3 or 4 games and then go, I've got 2 weeks off now. We haven't. If this goes wrong, it's going to go really wrong. So I don't know what we're going to do over the next couple of weeks. There's rumours flying around that we're going to go and get a right back now. But to be fair, I have always said, I think we've got a buyer for Wan-Bissaka. And the fact that this was said by me even before the game yesterday, where Wan-Bissaka didn't even play, I believe we've got a buyer for Wan-Bissaka. I don't know who it is, but from stuff I've been told, I think we've got a buyer for Wan-Bissaka. Not alone, I think we've got a buyer. So if he goes, I think we'll go for a right back. But if United want to play the long game on de Jong, they should at least make public moves towards other midfielders and pressure Barcelona, says Omka. Well, I'm glad you've said that, actually, because I want to dive back into the midfield. Let me just have a sip of water. Oh, I had 6. I had apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. She hit the floor. I don't know why I said that. One thing is clear. Ten Hag is doing it his way, and the club is backing him. He's right to wait it out for Frankie de Jong, says Tamer. He's wrong. He's wrong. He's right. He's wrong. He's wrong. The season starts in 3 weeks and we're not prepared. If it goes wrong, he'll lose his job. He's right. It's a short-term fix if we don't go and get de Jong. It's a long-term plan to get him. Who's right, who's wrong? I don't know. This is the beauty of the game at the end of the day. The debate, the conversation. This is what it's all about, isn't it? Barca can force de Jong out by telling him he won't get first-team football, then he won't make the World Cup team, says Sigurdur. Yeah, look, as I say, 90% that Frankie de Jong's going to join United. What I do want to talk about is, what are we going to do with this midfield? Now, I'm aware... Look, Scott McTominay, he's there at the kit launch again. Adam and Ryan were there. I'm sure you saw the videos this morning. You've got Rashford, Bruno, Shaw, Sancho and McTominay. Where's Harry Maguire? Where's the captain of the bloody club? Why is the captain of the club not at a kit launch? I don't know. So McTominay's at a kit launch. Like, there are people out there that like Scott McTominay. There are people out there that like Fred. So I've got to be respectful here. Again, it's not personal. I don't dislike them as individuals. I just don't think they're good enough for Manchester United, and I've been proven right, and many other people have been proven right. I think they're bench players. But even if I think McTominay and Fred are good, even if I think that as a pair they're good enough for us to get into a title race, it's a depth thing. What if McTominay breaks his leg? Who's playing next to Fred? Garner? Garner's never played a Premier League game. That is ridiculous. Manchester United saying that Garner is the replacement for Matic or Pogba, as much as I want him to be, based on what? Erik Ten Hag's only had training sessions with him. How does he know? And also, alright, Garner's the replacement for McTominay when he breaks his leg. Garner's no good. It's Garner and Fred for the rest of this, for 3 or 4 months. as I say, and I've said it many times, we had Matic and Pogba, Fred and McTominay last year, and we desperately needed a midfielder bought last summer, and we didn't. We still desperately need a midfielder bought, and we haven't got Matic and Pogba. We need 3 midfielders. And we had Donny last season as well, so don't say we've got Donny. We had Donny last season. So we need 3 midfielders. All right, Garner might be one of them, but we still need 2. All right, De Jong's 1. We still need 1 then. We are short in the midfield. Now, if De Jong's going to come in at some point, maybe after the Brighton game, maybe after the Brentford game, if De Jong's going to come in at some point, fine. But he's not going to be there for the start of the season. So are we playing Fred and McTominay? And if we're playing Fred and McTominay, will we get by against Brentford and Brighton? We might. We might. We might do, because Ten Hag's football is very good. It might be enough to get over Brentford and Brighton, who could both be in a relegation battle, or at least both will be in the bottom half of the table. So we might have enough with McTominay and Fred. It's a risk, but we might be. But again, what if one of them plays badly or one of them gets injured? What are we going to do? Garner? Is that, again, it's a risk. So it got me thinking about the midfield. And look, this is how my brain works. I can't just go, oh, we bought Eriksen. That's fine. Let's wait and see. My mind's like, what are we going to do with Eriksen? What are we going to do with Eriksen? We've got Donny, Bruno and Eriksen, all of which apparently are number 10s. I think at least one of those players is going to play in the midfield too. It's slow sports news. Yellow tie, crunching up cornflakes in an Audi. But it is slow sports news. But I genuinely think that when we think about this midfield, and I'll visualise it for you here. When you think about that midfield there, and you look at Frankie de Jong in that position. So you got Frankie de Jong. So you got Fred here, yeah. You got Fred and Frankie, yeah. Hello. You got Fred and Frankie in that position at the moment, yeah. I personally think that whilst a lot of people think that we're going to put Bruno on, you could put Bruno on the right, but I actually think Eriksen might drop in here. Or here. I actually think that logically, when you think about it, as much as we're saying we haven't got any midfielders, I think you're going to find that Eriksen or Bruno is actually dropping deeper into the midfield. I think we're probably going to see something we've never seen before. And I don't blame us for it. Going into the season with McFred is wrong. We had Norwich's midfield running rings round us last season, says Cotton. We've not replaced Ander Herrera from 4 years ago. Never mind Matic and Pogba. You know what, Julian? We could actually buy Ander Herrera. He's not going on tour with PSG and he's available. We could actually bring him back. We won't do, but we could do. But I do think that we might, and I might be completely wrong about this, but I have a theory, and it's one that actually makes me feel a little bit more positive. When we think about Man United over the last 5 years, even under Mourinho, we think of this back four with one holding midfielder, one box-to-box and one attacking midfielder. The typical example would be Matic holding the midfielder, Pogba box-to-box and Bruno as the attacking midfielder, right? We're not playing like that anymore. We're going to play with a high line, centre-backs, who occasionally are even pushing beyond the centre circle, the actual circle in the opponent's half. If they're doing that, you're not playing with a holding midfielder anyway. So if they're doing that, your midfield two are even further forward. So could you conceivably play Eriksen and Fred, or Eriksen and McTominay before you get De Jong? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, is that the plan for Brentford and Brighton? Until we get De Jong, maybe we're going to play Eriksen and McTominay, or Eriksen and Fred, or Fred and Bruno. Maybe we're going to do that. Maybe we're not going to play McFred. Maybe that's not the plan. I don't know. Maybe he's got something up his sleeve that we're not aware about. Maybe we're thinking, well, it's going to be McFred because there's nobody else. And maybe Ten Hag's going, well, it's not going to be McFred because I'm going to play Eriksen in the midfield too. Maybe he's going to play Bruno in the midfield too. I don't know where the defensive discipline comes from with that, but maybe we're not looking at defensive discipline. Maybe we're looking at 75% possession with a high line. We'll concede chances on the break and we'll take our chances that we'll score more going forward. I don't know. Maybe we're on the cusp of a complete and utter revolution that's going to change the way we think football's played, because to be honest with you, the way that football's been played over the last 5 years is bloody boring. I have a sneaky suspicion Glazers had something to do with Maguire being captain. Ten Hag didn't bring in Martinez to pair with the fridge or to be on the bench, says CR7. And Anthony says, can anyone clarify what Darren Fletcher is paid to do at our football club? Anthony, you know what? I'm going to say it right here, right now. In relation to Darren Fletcher, I'm not interested anymore. Darren Fletcher, as a Manchester United player, I really liked him. He was really castigated and laughed at when he first got involved, and people used to call him Sir Alex Ferguson's foster son. But actually, he got sent off for a dodgy yellow card in a semi-final of the Champions League, and I think it was the 2009 one. I'm getting old these days. But I think it was the final we lost to Barcelona in Rome. And the semi-final, if I remember correctly, may well have been the Emirates. And basically, he stretched out to make a tackle in the penalty box. And he got the ball. And he got a second yellow, I think. And it put him out of the final. Or he got a red. And it never was... He made a good tackle and he missed the final. And we really missed him in that game. I'm pretty sure it was 2009. He was a good player, Darren Fletcher. And his career got cut short by quite a serious stomach issue. As a player, I really liked him. Same as Solskjaer. Last season, I had no bloody idea what his qualifications were to be doing the job he was doing. Sitting on the touchline in the ear of Ranić, he just looked completely out of place. But I'm going to say this, and everyone else can do what they want to do. In relation to Darren Fletcher, I couldn't give a shit anymore. Like, we've got Erik ten Hag, we've got Steve McLaren, we've got Van der Gaag. If Darren Fletcher's on the training ground helping out, I'm not bothered. My problem last year was that this was a guy with very little experience who sat next to Ranić in his ear, and he's also technical director. I'm not bothered about Darren Fletcher anymore. I'm back in the camp of I like Darren Fletcher, I remember him as a player, and if we're nurturing him to be something important at the club, fair, so be it. We've got Ten Hag now. This is a different world. What Darren Fletcher does really doesn't concern me anymore. And if he turns out to be a really valuable asset to the club, then great. Last year, it pissed me right off because the club was a shambles and he sat there in the ear of Ranić. Now, it's an irrelevance. Darren Fletcher shouldn't even be in our thoughts at the moment. Ten Hag's the manager. He's got the coaching staff that he wants. Let's get the players that he wants. Savage and Zidane took Liverpool's best midfield to the sword for 28 minutes. They are starters for me. Wayne, how much have you had to drink? And look, I like Zidane and Charlie, and I think they've got really big futures ahead of them with fantastic heads on their shoulders, and I hope to God that they keep that grounded enthusiasm, personality on their shoulders, because footballers need to change. Like, footballers, they're arrogant, they're up their own arse, they're not in the real world. And listening to those two lads, the enthusiasm, the thirst to be a Man United player, the ability to communicate with the fan base is fantastic. I hope that's the vision of the new footballer, because the vision of the last 10 years, especially at United, has been a shit show. So, look, I really want them to succeed, and every other youth player that is pretty much in the same mould. There's so many young lads that are like Charlie Savage and like Zidane Iqbal. They've got their heads screwed on, they're grounded, they want to be United players, they're not, eyes off the ball because they're going to get this car or that car, or this brand or that brand. The future's bright and Ten Hag's the right manager for them. But I don't think those two are ready. And I don't think it's right to think they're ready, because we're Manchester United and we need to be spending money. Playing Charlie Savage and Zidane Iqbal in the midfield in the Premier League next year would be absolutely unfair on them. They're young players that need to be nurtured. And also, it would be back in the Glazers because they don't have to bloody spend any money. Rice, Ndidi, Douglas Luiz, Soucek, Ruben Neves, or even Kante, all of them are an upgrade to McFred. Goodness forever. There's a bigger list. There's a bigger list than that. Romu, Ward-Prowse, who plays in the midfield for Norwich. There's McTominay and Fred individually. I think they have attributes. Collectively, they're a symbol of failure. Do players know we have a nickname of McFred and Magaluf, says Salah Ahmed. McFred is pretty well known. McFred is well known. Maguire in a probable back three with a high line, disaster, says Mojo. I don't think we'll play a back three. I'm not aware maybe the chat can tell me. I'm not aware of Erik ten Hag ever playing a back three. I don't think he's ever done that, so I don't think we're going to do that. I mean, the problem with Erik ten Hag playing a back three is that in a Ten Hag system, I know there's only 10 players there, but I purposely don't put Ronaldo in at the moment. So pretend Ronaldo's at the figurehead. Where's my finger? I'm using the wrong one. Can't figure this out. That finger, yeah. So where my finger is, Ronaldo is there, okay? So if you play three, you're still going to play with fullbacks. You're going to lose a winger or a midfielder. So it's very important in an Erik ten Hag system that you've got a striker, you've got a number 10, you've got two wide players, you've got a midfield two that's pushing the press, and two fullbacks. If he plays a back three, he's going to lose one of his attack. I just don't think Ten Hag would play a back three. I just don't think he would do it. Hi Mark. Yesterday, Manchester Evening reported that Man United is targeting Roma's Nicola Zaniolo. What do you think of it? Never heard anything about it. I've not heard anything about it. Nightman, thank you very much for the joining the members club. So yeah, I think that the next. So Frankie de Jong's on tour now until the start of August, so that's 2.5 weeks. Will we do any other business in the next 2.5 weeks? My prediction is it's going to go very quiet. I think Lisandro Martinez gets announced on Monday. We play on Tuesday, bit quiet again. Then we play on Saturday, come back from tour, bit quiet again, play those final 2 tour games, and then we're a week out from the start of the Premier League season. I don't think we're going to do any more business. Not till in August. I think all our business will be done in August now. I think that's it. Lisandro Martinez and that's it. And that's not even being negative. That's just being realistic. If United can defy that and prove us wrong, that's fine. But I don't see... What's the next transfer after Frankie de Jong? And we know that Frankie's not going to happen for a few weeks now. So what was the next transfer after Frankie de Jong? I don't know. I really don't know. Liam says we could sign Ziyech. I mean, Ziyech's not hit the ground running at Chelsea, has he? And you know, I don't know. Apparently, he's going to go to Milan as well. I can see the logic because he's played for Ajax, but I don't know. I'd like to see us go and make sure that we get Anthony. I'd like to see us go and get a right back, but I don't know. Maybe United will surprise us, but we seem to be in a bit of a lull. And of course. One of the big things that's gone quiet that I feel, every time I'm checking Twitter, I'm expecting somebody to say, we're due an update on Ronaldo. That there's an update on Ronaldo that we haven't had yet as well. Like, Ronaldo is not on tour. He's not training. He's somewhere doing something, and we don't know what. What's the next step with Ronaldo? Because it's 2 weeks tonight that we heard he wanted to leave. 2 weeks is a long time in football. Are we going to go another 2 weeks with nothing? I think we're due something on Ronaldo, and that's another big thing. Maybe that's what's going to take up the next 3 weeks, which actually is a waste of time for us unless he stays. The amount we are paying for De Jong, we can buy both Tielemans and Sangare. That would make our midfielders competitive as other teams, says Manoj. But I think with that, you're wandering into an area that's different. I understand why some people would walk away from De Jong, but what if we bought De Jong a month ago? We'd still be buying him for the price we've agreed in 3 weeks, and we'd still be paying him the same wages. We could have bought De Jong at the start of June, and what you're saying there is still valid. Welcome to the Members Club, Manula. And what I mean by that is we're going to pay 85 million euros all in for Frankie de Jong over the next 2 years. And that is, 70 million quid? And we're going to be paying him wages in excess of £300,000 a week. Some people would say United are not learning from their mistakes of the last 9 years. What if I said to you what was United's big mistakes in the last nine years in transfers? What would you say? What symbolises the mistakes of the last 9 years? For me, we spent over £1 billion, and I don't know where it is. In the last 9 years, we've spent £1 billion. I don't know where it is. I can't think of many signings that have been worth it. We spent £1 billion. There are clubs in the Premier League that will never spend £1 billion in their history. We spent £1 billion in 9 years. It's actually more. So for me, when I look at the last 9 years in the transfer window where we went wrong, we spent £1 billion and I don't know where we spent it. So when I look at this summer and people say we shouldn't be spending massive amounts of money and wages on Frankie de Jong, I can't defend it. I think we should get Frankie de Jong because Ten Hag wants him, but I can't pretend that we're not spending huge wages again on one player and huge fee on one player. You know, that is symbolic of what United have made mistakes in the past. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. You can't just go, oh, we spent big in the past and we're never going to spend big again. What if an opportunity comes up for a Kimmich or a Haaland or someone like that? Do you go, no, we're not doing it because over the last 9 years we spent badly? You know, maybe Frankie de Jong is worth every penny and maybe he's going to be absolutely brilliant, and Ten Hag certainly thinks that. But I also can't say that when people are saying, well, this is exactly what we've been doing for 9 years, why are we doing it again? That is the risk. Football is risk. I'd rather get Dumfries than Anthony. Sancho can play right wing. We need an attacking right back better than Deleuze, says Mandor. Well, Mandor, you make a good point, to which I would reply and say, you'd rather get a right back because we've got Sancho on the right. Is Sancho playing 60 games then? Is he playing Thursday night and Saturday? And he's never going to get injured and he's never going to dip in form. Tell you what, he's a bloody good player as well as somebody that's very, very, very endurance. I mean, you know, endurance, is that even a word? I meant, you know, like good endurance, good stamina. We have got Sancho, Rashford, Martial. That's it. And you're saying, I'd rather buy a right back because Deleuze ain't good enough. You've defeated yourself because we've already got 2 or 3 right backs. They might not be good enough, but we've got depth. We've literally got Jadon Sancho on the right. Who's playing on the right wing when Jadon Sancho gets injured? Who's playing on the right wing if Jadon Sancho has a bad season? Who's playing on the right wing when we need to rest Jadon Sancho? Rashford's crap off the right and doesn't want to play there. Alanga's no better. We haven't got a bloody right winger. We actually haven't got a right winger apart from Jadon Sancho. Asher, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. And also to Ibrahim as well. We are... Look, I didn't intend on talking that tonight. We're weak in the midfield and we're weak in the attack because we don't have any depth and therefore you're weak. You know, it's true. It's true. Durable, that's the word. Made a new word up tonight. Was there anything else I wanted to talk to you about? No. To cut a long story short, no. Ahmad. People are talking about Ahmad or Palestri. I'm sorry. You're having a bloody laugh. You're having a laugh. Have you seen Ahmad in pre-season? Have you seen him at Rangers? He ain't ready. He's not ready. He looks nowhere near ready. I don't know what that signing was all about because I'm telling you now, at Atalanta, they thought he was going to be the next Messi. Fabrizio bloody loved him. He used to talk to me before we went live going, oh, you've got a great player here. I don't know what we've done to Ahmad, but he don't look anywhere near ready at the moment. That's a major risk. Palestri, again, you know, I don't think he's ready. But you could say that, you know, Elanga don't look ready to me either. Like, you can't go into a season with 3 first-team players and then 3 youngsters. That's ridiculous. You can't do that. I think bringing players who don't want to play for the shirt is always a mistake, says Gunners Forever. Di Maria was a mistake, and if Frankie de Jong doesn't want to come, United should look somewhere else, says Gunners Forever. Brandon, welcome. Thank you very much for the super chat. Look, we're back on Frankie. The situation is United are very confident they're going to get him. Ten Hag is very insistent that we get him. And I actually think that when we do sign Frankie de Jong, because I still think we will, 90% sure, I'm still very confident that we will from everything that I know. When we do sign Frankie de Jong, I think there's going to have to be a public barrage of manipulation to get many of you back on side. And I think what you'll get in the first interview from Frankie is, I want to be at this club. I've always wanted to be at this club. I'll predict this right now. He will say, when he signs, I've always wanted to play for this club. And you'll be convinced. Whether it's the truth or not, it doesn't matter. He will be committed to this club. Because it cannot be you sign for United and all summer we've been told you don't want to come. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Let's get him signed before you start worrying about that. Our transfer market is hanging on Ronaldo and Frankie de Jong, 2 players who no other club want. We need to ask ourselves, is it worth it? Says Jonathan. Jonathan, you also need to ask yourself, what's the alternative? I mean, what the hell? Why are we even in? I would say, why are we even in the sentence of Ronaldo and de Jong? What right have we got to be going for 2 players? All right, Bayern Munich might not want them, Chelsea might not want them, but they're good clubs in the Champions League. We're in the bloody Europa League. Beggars can't be choosers. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not sat here going, oh, why are we getting De Jong and Ronaldo? No one else wants them. Bloody come. Quick, we're crap. Come here. Like, we're nothing. We're nothing. On the world stage at the moment, we are nothing. We're a speck. We're nothing. We're a name. We're Manchester United in name. Everyone knows who we are because of our name. Our team is a shambles. We can't... Look, whether anybody else wants them or not, that could be to our benefit. Because how often do you get one of the world's best midfielders who's 25 and one of the best world strikers in Ronaldo? Like, we've got no right to get those sort of players. So, look, I get what you mean because my standards are up there as well. But the club is not where it needs to be at the moment. So, I'd bloody grab them while we can, if we can. Sangari rumour, nothing in it. Asher, spoke about it already. I forgot about De Jong and go for other targets, taking too much time, says Corey. And watching from the start, this mate takes me back to my teens. Pull out, says Harry Palmer. Oh, I forgot I'd said that. Anyway, look, we'll be back in the morning. It's almost like I'm thinking whether I'll be back in the morning. No, I won't be back in the morning. Fuck it, I've had enough. I'm out. United stand stops here. I won't be back in the morning. I'm fed up. I'm not doing any more shows. That's it. No, I will be back in the morning. And yeah, we're playing on Tuesday morning. Look, I hope I'm going to be wrong, but I get the feeling that that's it for United now. I think we're going to have to wait a while because we've Frankie's on a flight to America, so we're not signing him anytime soon. Official announcement from Lisandro Martinez, of course. I hope we're going to go and do some other business now. Like, if Frankie's in America, then it gives you a chance to work on other deals. This is the test now, isn't it? How much money have we got to spend? Because I think the budget might be gone, but we'll have to wait and see. Thanks everyone for watching. Legends on a Saturday night. Take care. Kaleidoscope View, thank you for becoming a member. Yeah, Legends and the chat as ever, whether you're watching live or not. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, certainly calmer than I was this morning. I had to go for a big walk this morning, didn't I? But thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Make sure you subscribe and smash a like. We don't get Love Island on a Saturday night. I don't know why I know that. I'm off to watch a film. Take care.